The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you've been having a wonderful week, that things are going smoothly for you. But what I find is sometimes when Wednesday comes along, things have not gone according to plan, and we have these challenges and stretching opportunities that we don't feel like having. And so today, what we're going to be talking about is how do we deal with challenges, both those challenges that are game changers for us, where we're stopped in our tracks and now life is suddenly different, sometimes not and frequently not by our choice. How do we overcome that and move forward in a powerful way? And then secondly, how do we deal with those weekly challenges that come up when maybe we're feeling stretched a little thin and tired and we can't have that one last thing and then it happens? How do we deal with that in our life? So those really impactful big things and then those every week daily kinds of things. How do we deal with that in our life so that it's not running us? So that we are actually making the choices. We can't always choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we respond. And we can do that in the blink of an eye. And so that's some of what we're going to be talking about. I have an amazing guest today, Joie Gharrity, who's the founder of Number 113 Branding. She's a brand strategist, has over 15 years experience in the Hollywood entertainment industry, a social media influencer, visibility expert, and she is very collaborative in how she looks at your visibility and really believes that as we lift up one another, we lift ourselves up. So it's my great honor to introduce the amazing Joie Gharrity to everyone.
Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for having me.
Really glad to have you. And I know that you are no stranger to those everyday, weekly challenges that we have, and then those life-changing ones that happened as well. And so what I'm really excited about on this show is that Joie and I, we're going to speak from our various roles of expertise and our background, but we're also going to be speaking from our lives very candidly. Like, this is how we do it when we get stuck. This is how we move forward when those challenges happen, and that they do continue to happen. It's a myth out there that everything is always going smoothly for some people. It isn't. Sure. So we're going to bust that myth.
Yeah, because that is a myth. It is. That one. Yes.
It is, and it's so funny. I was on a mastermind call earlier today, and that's what someone expressed, that, my goodness, I have these events coming up, and I feel a little overwhelmed. And everyone chimed in saying, well, yeah, that's when you have events and stuff, that's kind of normal. You do feel that way at some point. So there's nothing wrong with you. That's normal. And it's a myth out there that you're not going to feel some of that or experience some of that in life. So now that we know that truth, how do we deal with that and interact with that? And so, listeners, what I'd love to have you do is kind of center yourself. Those of you who are driving are going to have to do this kind of on the inside and keep focused on the road and hands on the wheel. Be very safe. We want you to participate and join with us next week. We want you around, so be safe. But for those of you who are able to, let that chair support you. Kind of lean back. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, kind of feel your shoulders roll back, stretch out your chest there, and feel that chair really supporting you. If you're able to, put both feet on the floor, kind of relaxing, feeling it supporting you. Take one hand and put it on your heart, one hand on your head. Take another deep breath, and close your eyes, and breathe out. and sit in this space for a moment. And there might be a lot of distractions pulling at you, things that are kind of weighing on you, because I know it gets busy in the middle of the week. But just for a moment, lovingly push those things to the side. Actually, push them out of you with a big breath. We're just removing that from your space for now. You can pick them up later. Because one of the biggest ways to help you through a challenging moment is pausing and taking a breath. When you feel you can't, that's when you need it most. Mm. So I just invite you, take that breath again. And we are here with you, connected to serve and support you and just demystify some of this. How do you deal with challenges in life? Because our goal is to really empower you. We want you to be able to fully show up in your life, be seen, be sustained, be empowered. But you've got to center first and take that breath again. And what is it that you need today? What is it, listener, that you need that would support you? And just listen. Don't overthink. Just listen and feel that hand on your heart, hand on your head. Sometimes there's a thought. Sometimes it feels like warm, loving energy, a hug. There's different things that you need, and I want you to know you can have it. And that you are valuable and needed and are supported. You are not alone. Take a breath. And when you're ready, I want you to open up your eyes with that clarity of what you need. And when you know what you need, it's easier to recognize it. What I hope that we will deliver to you today are tips and insights to really help you fully show up in your life, to be empowered in those challenges, to be encouraged, to have some practical tips. And we're going to be real and authentic. We're going to bust some myths. We're going to share from our own lives, because our goal is to really nourish you and empower you. You don't need to do anything else during this moment, during this time, but be open to receiving and let us pour into you, nourish you, and empower you. So one more breath. And with that, Joie, I didn't know if you had something come to your heart or mind that you wanted to share with our listeners today.
Well, what came to me is just how grateful I am of how far I've come. Yes, because there was a time there not that long ago where I was quite a bit of a lone wolf, and this has been a big lesson for me, and it had a lot to do with an old story of mine, some tragedy that happened when I was younger. But just like reaching out to community every day, finding gratitude and blessings, meditation, all that, it's been just a huge game changer for me.
Good.
It really allowed me to come back to myself, yes.
Thank you. I think that's really important, gratefulness. And when we pause and reflect, and we're still for a moment, we're so good at doing and moving, but being still and listening, we get a different perspective on things. We can look back and appreciate. We can choose how we're going to be going forward. Again, we can't always choose what happens to us, but we can choose our response and what we choose to carry forward or not. And sometimes we don't know how far we've come because we don't always think to stop and reflect. So it's a beautiful reminder to all of us, Joie, that gratefulness and really having that perspective to remember to look back and reflect on how you are now. So that's beautiful. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking as I was sitting here and spending this moment with all of you, that I believe many of us have those tragedies in our life. We have had, or we might be in the middle of one. And maybe that's why you were drawn to listen to this show. And the biggest insight I can give to you is to remember to be extra kind to yourself. When I've had those highs in life and I've had those lows in life, those moments where I've had to rebuild my life, things were changed for me, or I had a great loss or tragedy, it can be tempting and we can get stuck in the horribleness of it and not know how to move forward. Sometimes with those great losses, we're just trying to figure out how to breathe. One breath to the next. We can't even think about an hour from now. We can't even think about the next day. We're just trying to remember to take that next breath. Mm-hmm. And yet there's part of us in those moments that can tell us, you should be over this. Why are you having a hard time? You need to just get up and do stuff. We can be really hard on ourselves, but we would never talk to a friend like that. We would never talk to someone we care about like that, but we talk to ourselves like that. And one of the biggest pieces of advice, and just came to my heart as we were spending that moment together, is to remember to treat yourself like your best friend. Allow the process you need, because if you repress it, if you try to force yourself, you're going to stay stuck. You're not going to be able to find that silver lining. And I want that for you. And I want you to be able to breathe, be kind to yourself, be your best friend. And in fact, I find even in those daily things that happen, we have that same opportunity. When that day is running you, and then that one less thing that you can't have happen does, and you just feel like screaming or throwing something, but you're too dignified because people are looking to do that, but inside you are. That's the moment I have found, if I can pause and take my breath and ask a question. Rebecca, is this who you want to be? And usually at that moment it's no. This is not how I want to be. And then I say, okay, who do you want to be? How do you want to be in this moment if you could choose? And then I think for a moment and the answer will come. And then the voice says, then choose it and be that with your next breath. And that takes a total of 3 or 4 seconds, sometimes a minute if I need to do a lot of deep breaths. But it changes the whole day for me, whether I'm in those tragedies where I'm trying to go from one breath to the next, or if I'm in those daily challenges that it's just that one last thing. When I can remember to do that, it changes the whole day. It changes my whole perspective. So that's what was on my heart to share with all of you. And listeners, we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And what I want to invite you to do is stay in this energy a little bit and really think about, what is it, one, that you need? And 2, how can you be your own best friend? We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Build your better business. Achieve that goal. Make good on that resolution. The Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a moment to stay in that energy, really breathing, pausing, and listening to what it is that you need. And how can you treat yourself like your own best friend? And with that, I wanted to switch gears a little bit as we come back together. So we've done some self-reflection, and now I wanted to really tap into Joie and her expertise and really see if she can shed some additional insight to really empower us around overcoming challenges and really stepping fully forward so that we can see, be seen, and serve. So Joie.
Yes.
I was like rubbing my hands together. I'm excited. So Joie, I want to picture that.
Well, yeah.
You could feel that energy. I know you have this great passion to really empower people and women in particular and really stepping forward in a little different way to bring their brand forward. And I know this is really important work to you and really helping them do. I don't even want to give away some of the secrets of how you do it. You have a unique approach, let's say it that way, and how you help us come forward, be seen, particularly in social media, consistency and brand. And before we even get into how you do that, what I would love to understand is why. Why is this work and impacting the world in this way so important to you?
It's my way of being of service. A couple years back, when I had to do some deep soul searching, Rebecca, deep, I really had to take stock in my life and why I'm really here. I chose very young on. I think I was even like 4 years old or 5 in my head that I was never going to have children. And so as I was getting older, I was like, okay, so what is the purpose then? I'm that girl that needs hope. Like, I need a reason to every day to drive and keep being driven. And for me, just the way I'm built is from an outside in. So for me, spotlighting others, being of service to others, helping others to, become, get more leverage, more net worth, more superstardom, et cetera, and helping to share their mission and their point of view really excites me. And that's why I started Number 113 Branding.
Beautiful.
And it was interesting, too, because I sat down and I thought I had a decision to make. I could call it Joie Gharrity, right? I could call it after Joie Gharrity Branding. And I was like, no, I'm building this for all of us. This is a community-driven, worldwide, global piece that I'm building for women around the world.
Beautiful. And I love how you really stopped and did the soul searching and tapped into your why, and that your why is fed and your need is fed by what you do. Like, you really got clarity on what you're here to do, how you're meant to do it, and you spent the time to search through that as you were building your brand, your own brand, and as you're stepping forward in how you're going to bring this to the world. I love that. And I think so many times we skip that step. We just want to start doing and hope it'll fall into place. And that can create challenges, which, again, today we're trying to work on minimizing challenges and being able to move through them. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. And I love that this is your way of serving, and you said yes, and you stepped forward in it. So that's a gift to all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's the that purpose. It's so deep. It's so deep. so deep in our spirits. And actually, much of what I do is I help people to recognize really what their purpose is, because that truly is what branding is.
Yeah.
Branding is incredibly emotional.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting with that, and I think that's why sometimes people step back from it. I'm just thinking with speakers. Sometimes I work a lot with speakers, and I'll have them come to me and they'll say, just tell me what my purpose is. I can speak on anything. Just tell me, you're the expert. Tell me what I'm supposed to speak on.
Right.
And what I'm supposed to share, and give me the right techniques. And it does. I have to back them up, and we really have to go into their purpose, their why, and what they are really called to step forward. And it does require a journey within, and sometimes looking at those areas of pain to get that clarity of how they move forward and what they can uniquely bring forward. And I don't know, do you find that's the case as well with your work in branding?
Yeah, I mean, what I found shocking actually when I started doing this is how emotionally charged branding really is. Mm-hmm. Because my other big why is that I wanted to emotionally connect again, because I had shut down for so many years.
Well, then this is perfect. This is perfect then.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I designed perfect occupation for myself, because I get to emotionally connect all day, all night, 7 days a week. Yeah,
I love it. Oh, it's perfect. And then you're an expert in helping them do the same and holding that space for them.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Now, you talked about this concept of lone wolf a couple times in your shares. And why is it important to break away from this trying to do everything on our own, just coming out of hiding, I guess, at night when we need food? Why is it important to break away from being a lone wolf and stepping into perhaps a community and connection on? So everyone designs that a little differently, but why is it important to step away from being a lone wolf and actually step into a community?
Well, I learned this in Hollywood. So I was quite young when I started working there, and I was immediately thrown into a production with 300 plus other team members. So what I learned young is that community drive through a collective is how dreams come true. Mm. And I believe that very strongly today, so much so that most of my strategies 99% of them are collaborative. Mm-hmm. And it's that connection, because together we can do a lot. By yourself, you can trickle in. And I've made choices in my life to go after big dreams, which takes big collective and collaboration. And I can't do it by myself. And so I'm asking women out there to please hear that on a deeper level, especially around their businesses. Because what happens after a while is that women entrepreneurs can start suffering a little bit because they're in a stop and go situation. And they're wondering why there's a stop and go, and that there's not always a thread of people coming or customers, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it has a lot to do typically that they're in the shadows. Mm. And so it's by stepping out and asking the collective and collaborative, and by the way, it has to be an equal exchange of energy, clearly, but to ask so that everyone can support each other, and then it's through the lifting that the elevation comes through, and it's quite magical.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I know that you have an analogy or a way that you describe this that has to do with ice cream. Do you mind sharing that with our listeners today?
No, of course. It's based off another strategy I learned down there in the entertainment business, that when two brands come together. So, for instance, when a director who is their own brand with a lot of leverage and a studio came together, then they would cross-pollinate their content, and they would get just tons and tons of great opportunities would happen for them. And so I repurposed that for women entrepreneurs with a double dip. Mm-hmm. So I ask women to approach another woman entrepreneur And I encourage them not to be in their own field. Mm-hmm. And to approach them and then find a way where they can cross-pollinate their content by spotlighting each other. You got to spotlight the other person. It's more effective. And when you spotlight the other person, it could be a quote, a tip. You could actually take one of their blogs that they've already written and incorporate it into one of yours. And then on the same day, you both go out and you share this together and you tag each other. Because what it does is it puts you in different backyards that you wouldn't have privilege to. Because everyone's running in different backyards, and it's a way of expanding and getting out of your own backyard. And it's really powerful. It's really generosity of spirit, and generosity of spirit brings a lot of opportunity with it.
Exactly. And I've watched this happen. I'm privileged to be in a Facebook group with you, and I see this happening all the time. And they've even gone to triple scoops. Is that double dips and triple dip?
Yeah,
Thank you. Triple. I keep picturing the ice cream scoops.
It's a double, a triple, and then there's the banana split.
Oh, look at this.
That's just this endless combinations. And what's lovely about all the dips is that once you go out with them and you guys tag and share and email blast and put them in your newsletter, a couple months later, come back around again and do it again together. Yes. And then again, because it's going to give you more and more leverage, because content's always king.
Exactly. And here's just a pause that I want to step away from visibility just for a moment, because I love what you've created and I love the life that it's taken on. And so I see people highlighting each other in this group and outside of this group and really spotlighting things about each other that we maybe forget are special about us. And they're doing that. And what I see by the community being able to support one another, that when a challenge comes up, they're more able to reach out and support and be more transparent and keep lifting each other up. And so this connecting in a real way, truly with our brands and on our journey as we're stepping into that spotlight more and more, is a really powerful thing to witness and to be a part of it. And as you were sharing earlier, Joie, about the lone wolf and being able to really step into the collective and the community being very transformational for you, as well as coming out of the tragedy that was part of the key for you too. That listeners, what I want you to think about as we go to our commercial break here is, how can you apply some of these things right now? How can you reach out, highlight someone, maybe reach out into a community or into a niche that is not yours, form relationships, and also be of support to one another in a community, not just on business, but as people. And when you come back, we're going to be digging into this a little bit more, really highlighting how to bring gratitude and healing and movement into your life. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
We're on Facebook along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you.
Be ready.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you got an opportunity to sit in those thoughts a little bit and really think about how can we reach out to one another and support one another. And just leveraging off of that, when somebody is in that place of tragedy, great loss, they're just focusing on one breath to the next. Frequently, what people will do is they'll come alongside you and say, let me know if I can be of any help. Just reach out to me. And what I want to let you know is they're not at a place where they can always reach out. They're just trying to think of that next breath. So if you are in that place or you know of someone that's in that place, I want to invite you to initiate that reach out and actually come up with some ways that you can support them. And maybe it's just coming by and visiting once in a while. It doesn't always have to be giving information. It can just be being there and being part of that next breath with them. I really want to invite you to find a way to reach out to others in your life and really become a part of their journey. For those of you that you're looking at, these are challenges and you're at that place where you can reach out a little bit and you're even in this kind of battle zone a little bit with the challenge. And sometimes you feel like you're winning. Sometimes you feel like you're not. You are at a place where you can reach out for help. And sometimes what can help you move through that is reaching out to community, finding something that you are grateful for, and then being able to reach out and celebrate that. And sometimes if we take our focus, the spotlight off of the particular challenge at the moment, and we're able to highlight and shine the gifts of somebody else and reach out to them, it helps us move through it as well. So just some ideas that I want to share with you and really have you take it in deeply. And one of the things that Joie was sharing with us, that she has been through a tragedy and has done a lot of soul reflection that has really helped her move into her calling and where she is just passionate about serving and lifting up others. Do you mind sharing with us, Joie, what has been one of the most challenging times in your life and how did you find the silver lining in it?
The most challenging time in my life is when my brother passed away. So he passed away several years ago, but there was a 13-year period in my life where I was just suffering at such a deep level. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, Rebecca, I couldn't find a silver lining.
Yep.
I just couldn't, because he was my best friend. And I was guilt-ridden over the death itself because he passed away on a movie set. Mm. It was just a freak accident. What happened? It was a car accident, but regardless, so I couldn't find the silver lining. I just couldn't. And and I actually think I was born very optimistic. Mm-hmm. It's just my nature, and always with a smile on my face. But before that, looking back, what was interesting is that I had a really, really dreamy life. Like, I almost had a star over my head. That's what people would say, because things came to me so easily. Mm-hmm. And when it happened, I remember before I got the call that I felt it in my body, and I remember saying to myself, tomorrow will be the first day of my new life. And I said that out loud. Mm-hmm. And I was so angry and frustrated by the whole situation for those 13 years. But I know that it's a blessing. And today I'm very, very grateful because I'm more empathetic. I'm doing what I'm doing with my life now because of it. So I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you. So it sounds like that gratitude was a big finding, that it gave you clarity, that it gave you some of these other things, helped you move forward. Is that fair?
By looking at the lessons, you know, I mean, I was really blessed all of a sudden on that 13th year, where I had a tribe of people surrounding me and with healings, and I got back into meditation and you know, just really, you know, doing the deep work, doing the work.
Yep.
You know, and it was hard. It was definitely hard, and at the same time, it was the best time of my life. One of the best times of my life, because it lifted me up. I was able to elevate up and rise above the tragedy, and finally look down and say, enough. I mean, it's okay to let this go.
Yep. And that is really profound, because you carried that for a long time. And to be able to find a place where you could be in a community, be supported in that way, say yes, that decision to say yes to doing the work, not that it was easy, but you made a decision to say yes, and freeing, and then it's been able to move you to a place that is much more at your center and who you are, and that there have actually been gifts in it. So that's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it brought me back to me, actually. You know, I mean, the girl I am today, it's so interesting, because an old friend of mine from Hollywood called me out of the blue today. And he knew me before this. And he's seen me on social media recently. He's like, oh, I saw that smile. I knew I had to call you. And I was like, that's the girl. Like, that's what doing the work gets you back to.
Yep.
Is to opening up your heart again and just saying, okay, it's okay to trust, you know. It's okay to trust yourself. It's okay to trust the world. And things are going to happen. Life's a roller coaster. That was one of my biggest lessons. It was just like, life's a roller coaster. There's a lot of ups and downs.
Yep.
So, you know, just get your head wrapped around that for a second, and it's okay, and then it makes things better. It's a great mindset for me to be in now, just knowing that everything's not butterflies and rainbows.
Yep.
Necessarily, but yet the blessing is in every single thing that's happening to me.
Yes.
The gratitude is there because the lesson is there. Look at it, learn from it, and try to learn from it and either move on or incorporate it right away.
And I love how
I'm grateful.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I love it, because to me, you're really stepping into that leadership place. Like, okay, if this is how life is, then this is how I'm going to be in it. And making that choice and being empowered in it and finding clarity in it and really finding strength in it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, just be great. Being grateful is you know, that's what elevates it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Good. And listeners, just lean into this for a little bit and think about, is there a challenge that you've been carrying for a while? A tragedy or something that you wish was different or perhaps hadn't happened, and you feel like it's now just become part of you in a way that you're stuck or it's holding you. And I invite you to really lean into the possibility that could shift, the opportunity that it could be a little bit different. I know when I've had tragedies in my life, I didn't have the butterfly and rainbow childhood. I came from quite the opposite. And I took lessons that life was really hard, that I wasn't valuable, that I didn't matter, that it wasn't safe to be seen or heard. And so those were some of my things I thought were truths that when I was rescued and went on my healing journey, I was able to find a different truth, that I was actually beautifully and wonderfully made, that I was valuable, that I made a difference, that it was safe to be seen, and to be heard. And I also discovered strength that I didn't know I had, clarity of purpose that I don't know if I would have discovered without those challenges and without going on the healing journey. So as we were thinking about this silver lining, Joey, and we were talking about it, I just sitting here and thinking that for me, I think I'm so grateful, just thinking about gratitude, I'm grateful to know where I start and stop, to know that I can choose how to be, not always what happens to me, but it doesn't define me, that I can really choose what I'm building and what I'm going forward. And I'm glad to know that I do have that strength because it gives me courage as I go forward. I'm not ever recommending the path I went on to learn those things. You'll please hear that. But yeah. I'm very grateful to have that in my life and to have that those lessons. And when my sister-in-law passed away, it was another one of those going through the fog and really trying to choose how I wanted to be going forward. And so what I heard you saying, Joey, and just kind of echoing as I'm reflecting back, is that decision to move forward, that decision to trust again. And I love how you said, trust yourself. Because I think that's a big thing, that when those life changes happen and the challenges, we can lose trust in ourselves. And that's sometimes, I think, the hardest piece to start trusting and stepping forward again in. And I don't know if you echo that or if that's been your experience, Joey.
I absolutely. That actually is one of the core hiccups I was having for so long, is that I didn't trust I couldn't trust myself, so I couldn't trust life.
Exactly.
I thought that I made some poor decisions, which I didn't, because everything's in perfect order, in perfect time. There's nothing I could have done to change that outcome for my brother. Nothing.
Yeah.
But for many, many years, I thought there was. And so this was causing me a lack of trust, and was showing up in my personal and my business life all the time. It was mirroring it for me everywhere.
Yep. And that is the truth. Yeah. I'm underlining that because it's true. Like, what's going on the inside is good on the outside, and vice versa. I mean, they're not separate places. And sometimes we can recognize it on the outside. Sometimes we recognize it on the inside, but then you'll see it reflected the other place.
Yeah. Like a
no
big
escape.
meat right in front of you. It's like,
exactly.
Learn this.
Exactly. So, listeners, as we're going into our next break, when we come back, we're going to share a couple more tips and insights for you. But what I really want you to lean into is, how can you build a little more trust with yourself again? What's another way you can start to trust yourself? And maybe it's as simple as letting yourself know that you will take care of yourself. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Success starts here. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. It's your world.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. Excited to be connecting with you here again for our final segment. And what I wanted to talk about is just quickly review some of the insights that we shared today, because I want to make sure you heard them, and especially if you are in that place where it is a little foggy, that you are feeling a little isolated. I want to just remind you of some of the things that we shared today. Remember to be your own best friend. Find ways to be extra gracious, extra kind, and extra understanding of yourself, just like you would to your own best friend. Find ways to reach out and connect or be connected with. Remember to pause and breathe. Those deep breaths to really recenter, listen, and choose how you want to be, who you want to be with that next breath. Watch what you're saying to yourself. Are you being critical? Are you being judgmental? Are you being really harsh to yourself, or are you being supportive? And one phrase that we've talked about in past weeks is the phrase, I am. And whatever you say after the phrase, I am, becomes part of who you are. So if you're saying, I am strong, I am balanced, I am healthy, I am happy, that becomes actually a neural pathway in your brain that becomes your reality. But if you're saying some of the other things, I am unhappy, I am angry, I am stuck, I'm stupid, what are you saying to yourself? That becomes your reality. Really guard how you're talking to yourself. And I really invite you to look in the mirror every day and claim the truth. I'm wonderfully made. I'm powerful. I'm balanced. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I am connected. Claim the reality you want to step into, the neural pathways you want to build. And that's part of that choice we've talked about, really choosing how you want to step forward. And we've had Joie on the phone today who's sharing so much from her heart and really opening up some of the pain that she went through and how she was able to find her center and her core and all of that. And she's actually put together a beautiful free gift for us today, which we love. So Joie, do you mind sharing a little bit about your amazing free gift? And I will let them know how to find it.
Sure. So I have a magazine called Number 113 Branding. But this particular magazine is not just out there in the marketplace, in the public, so I wanted to offer it to your listeners. And it's really full of value. In other words, it's full of different ways that you can be looking at your own personal branding. It has a unique system in there, how you can look at your own qualities and how you can let those shine in the spotlight, and other strategies for both your personal branding and your business branding.
Beautiful. And it comes from your heart journey, which I love. I mean, the wisdom that you share in that. So thank you. And I promised I would let people know how to access that. So let me run I'm not just going to tease you. Someday I'll share it. I will do it right now. So if you're listening to us on Voice America and you're actually where you can see the banner, if you scan over to the right-hand side, you're going to see a bunch of links, electronic links that you can click on, and one of them says free radio show gifts. You simply click on that link, opens up, you put your name and your email address because we want to stay connected to you, and then you will see it open up to today's date, which is Wednesday, March 11th, Joie Gharrity. You will see her free gift. You can simply click on that and it'll open up this amazing gift and powerful information that she's sharing with us today. So Joie, I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me share it.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are listening to the replay, do not feel left out. Let me let you know how to find this gift as well. So you can simply go to my website, which is www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Click on the radio show tab, and right up in the left-hand corner, you're going to see free empowerment gifts. Simply click on that, and you'll have the same opportunity to access Joie's amazing gift. So we really invite you to do that. Please stay connected. We want you to be able to use the information we're sharing with you today to really impact your life, to really help you through the fog if you're in that fog of a challenge or of a tragedy, or if you're facing those everyday challenges or weekly challenges, that you're really empowered to not have them driving you and feeling stuck and stressed out and burned out, but really being able to pause, gain clarity, and move through it. So you can keep climbing and actually build skills and strength as you go through them. And then the final reminder that I wanted to share with you that we talked about, well, there's two final things. One is really finding things that you can be grateful for in it and through it and looking back. And really lean in to discovering ways to trust yourself again, building that trust muscle. And every day, I really invite you to look in the mirror, stand in a power pose. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of like that Wonder Woman pose with the feet on the ground, hip distance apart, hands on the hip, head up, shoulders back, and look yourself in the eye and start building who you want to be. Claim, I am this, I am that. What are you? And start claiming it. And the reason it's even more powerful when you do that in the power pose is because you're bringing more of that energy to your body and on a cellular level into your mind. And when you're looking yourself in the eye, it's clicking on a different level than when you're not focused on it and you're just kind of in passing saying, I am this. So really pay attention to how you're talking to yourself. The super extra credit bonus challenge is to do that power pose every day. This will really help you through the challenges and when you're feeling stuck, I promise you. It's building the neural pathways your way and helps you tap into your strengths and really tap into what you're wanting to bring forward so that that tragedy and challenge isn't dictating your life. It isn't driving you. You get to decide who you are in it and where you want to go with it. So you have that leadership opportunity in your own life to step forward in a powerful way. So I invite you to lean into that opportunity. And then the last thought I want to give you today is that you are beautifully, wonderfully made, on purpose, with a purpose. You're absolutely needed, valued. We want to see you. That's why visibility is so important. And may you always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. Look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.